Hey everyone, I'm Jason from Trading Games.
I'm Chris.
And tonight we're going to be bringing up a short conversation, as short as we can possibly make it, but it's going to really lead to a lot of discussion. And that's what's going to make it short and lead to future videos talking about this. And Chris has a huge passion for this and experience in this and what we've been putting together. And we're going to be touching on value, but the main topic of this is going to be the difference between getting a CIB game graded and which is, cart instruction box of a game that's been opened, and a game that is factory sealed and having it graded. And maybe not value. We don't always have to make it about value. We can make it about what is going to be the best version to have something preserved if you want the best of everything.
Right.
So Chris is going to be doing a lot of talking, and I'll just be kind of interrupting him. We've been talking about this all week and came up with the subject. So let's start.
Well, so this is a conversation we've had a lot of times before, and it's something that I've thought about a lot over the past few months. I'll essentially say that really what kind of first sparked my thought process in this, there's another YouTube channel that a lot of people are probably familiar with called The Game Chasers. And I watched a video of Billy on The Game Chasers, and this was posted back in August. So what he did is he opened up a sealed shipping box of Burger Time on Intellivision. Shipping box contained 6 sealed copies of a game, right? So he didn't care about the value or anything like that. He was just like, hey, it would be cool to open up a sealed game on camera. This was my favorite game. I've had this box forever, right?
Old 80s air.
New game smell. So he pulled a brand new factory sealed copy of Burger Time on Intellivision out of a sealed shipping box and opened it up. And the first thing that happened when he pulled out the manual, it was crumpled, it was folded, it was
deformed.
By no means mint, right?
Low grade.
So, and that came out of something that was absolutely factory sealed, had never been touched, okay? So it really started to make me think about questions of, it's kind of like the Schrodinger's cat, or what's in the box, right? So, with that being said, I won't get too much into it, but I have 2 really good examples to kind of support this. Without getting too much into it, I know this says that it's CIB, but this game was actually an NS. Long story short,
this particular title in our hands.
This specific game in my hand was confirmed that it had never been open. It got graded as CIB. That situation was rectified. That's neither here nor there. But what's really interesting about this, brand new, sealed game, cart and manual, both graded a 9.6. Never been opened. Factory imperfections happen. Things happen that you don't know what's actually inside of this game, right?
When it's factory sealed.
So, I also have a Jetsons. This is a CIB game. This box graded a 9.2. The cart and manual graded a 9.8. When I found this game, I found it CIB at a video game store a couple states away. I opened up the game, and I almost regret opening it in the first place. But again, I'm buying it from a store. I don't know what the inside looks like. I literally opened that game, pulled out the cart and manual, went, oops, I'm definitely the first person that ever did that. Slid right back in the box. WADA agreed. I didn't open up a single time. From that one time, even before I sent it off, we were thinking about cleaning it, and I'm like, no, I saw it. I've opened and looked at hundreds of games. I was very aware that that game had never been touched or played. And again, WADA agreed. So here's what my overall question is. When you're talking about a sealed game with WADA versus a CIB game, a sealed game gets a box grade and a plastic grade. This is a 9.6. The box is a 9.2. And again, the cart and manual are perfect. So if I put this up next to a 9.2A, the only thing that differentiates them at that point is a subtle piece of plastic. So we use the term transparency a lot when we're talking about this. And I guess my question is, what would you rather have? Would you rather have something like this, where you know exactly what's on the inside of your game?
Condition of every single piece individually.
There's pictures of it. I know exactly what it looks like. I know that there's no factory defects. I know that the inner contents of this are perfect. Or would you rather have a sealed game that might have something that wasn't perfect on the inside? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this question.
Definitely not.
In the slightest possible way. It's just something we think about, right? And a question that I think that's worth asking. If we do talk about the value, a tiny layer of plastic might increase its value tenfold to some buyers. And why?
I would really like to see down in the comments, what is your passion for it being sealed? We love sealed games, don't get us wrong. But like, where is the passion? And now, why pay so much for factory sealed? So I can understand the gamble. If you have a factory sealed game and you know that box is super good, you kind of have a good idea what the contents are going to be. I mean, the overall grade will be.
Right.
You know, so if you open it, you could get a lower grade. So that's
Correct.
why you don't open it.
Well,
so
and that makes total sense. And I mean, again, there is something cool about having this like brand new item. But again, when I watched someone open a brand new item, saw that the inner contents wasn't perfect, had a brand new sealed game, the graded contents, even the certification company agrees the stuff that came out of this new game was not perfect. To me, I see more value in knowing the inside of the content over a filament layer of plastic that's like doesn't change anything. At the end of the day, neither game's getting played, right? It's no longer that fact that's involved.
Encapsulated and preserved, and it will always be this condition.
You're just trying to protect it, you're trying to collect it, you're trying to do whatever your prerogative is. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that I think about a lot. Would you rather have something you know exactly what's on the inside, or are you someone that is more into the fact that the game has never been opened, right? You don't need to know what's on the inside because no one will ever know, because it's very likely that game will never, ever, ever be opened for the rest of time, right? There's not too many people taking a hammer and cracking open WADA games to look at what's inside of them. Does it even matter what's on the inside if it's never going to be opened again?
Any experiment in opening sealed games just to see how they'll grade would be a devastating blow to the pocketbook, and nowadays.
Absolutely.
So nobody's going to do it. But this really was, a conversation spark when we are talking about the future of values. Mm-hmm. And as things become lower quantity available sealed, high grade CIB will end up probably be worth just as much as something sealed, because the sealed stuff just won't be there.
Yeah, the sealed stuff will dry out over time, and there is obviously way more CIB copies out there than factory sealed, so it's going to be a level of supply versus demand, and I do think that the sealed market will price a lot of people out over time too. There's not too many people that can buy a Mario for 150 grand, but I mean, even a CIB one went for $9, which is, there's not that many games that sell for $9 grand, in this new avenue, there's quite a few. But yeah, it was just something, especially when this one ended up getting graded, because I had this graded before I got this one. So these are two separate orders, and this had been completed. And I was like, oh man, 9.6 on the manual and the cartridge. Game never been open. And on top of that, it does have a GSI in it, and the poster got a 9.4. So none of those items had ever been touched, period. They were all just put into a box, shrunk wrapped by a company, and shipped out, right? That was all assembly line damage. So you really never know what's inside your sealed game.
So
high grade CIB, you know exactly what's in it.
Yep.
Which would you rather have?
That's the conversation that we're starting right now with that. And we'd love to hear a lot about it, because we're very passionate about that side of it too. And that may be the future. So hope you enjoyed this conversation, and golly, let's hear those comments now.
Yep. Thanks for watching. We know we're trying to make this one a little bit quicker. Here's a topic. Here it is. Again, we want to keep putting stuff out, and we really appreciate you tuning in.
Yep. Thank you. So
Thanks,
see y'all
guys.
later.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget about the yeah. Oh, that sounded. This chair sounded bad.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, I'm pushing the weight limit on it. I mean, it's part of the process of that injected molded plastic.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, that's what happens with it. Supposedly. Supposedly.
Hmm?
In the words of Letterkenny,
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly. It's allegedly the plastic's fault, not the company's.